Fellow Sierra Leoneans, this na Dr. Sylvia Blyden, and tonight, leading up to this morning, I release audio number 042, being at the 42nd audio in my ongoing address to the people of Sierra Leone. This audio basically they can address issues of electricity generation for Sierra Leone. When I go recall inside my last audio, when audio number 41, I mean tell una say the former president and purported chairman and leader of the All People's Congress Party, in handlers them they come na social media with one old video we do in private between me and one my APC comrade. And inside that video they show me APC comrade say Nyama Koroma lie the night before na put local where he go talk say him na one of the people them, one of the heads of state we form the West Africa power pool. Now before I go further, I want to now listen to Nyama Koroma in voice. Listen to waiting in SSFC. I'm not going to play the entire 3-minute speech where he give, but I will play the side where he get for do with waiting he talk about the electricity project. Una listen. Now, make a alert on one time. See, this particular audio today, audio 042, it get for take more than 1 hour. And now a summary of a historical journey about Bumbuna hydroelectric project. Now, it actually take a lot of the time. But it's important to make a alert on at this beginning point that this audio today get for take more than 1 hour. Okay, so now listen.
So I hope that is an issue where you follow this great commencement of the West African power pool. We thankfully, we all with the stature as heads of state, we still there around, and how I wish we can for there around for give blessings to a project like this.
Now listen away they talk no so. Now I can play the most critical side per way he talk where they react to. I play that small part the back no more for listen. Una listen and back carefully.
This great commencement of the West African power pool, we thankfully, we all with the stature as heads of state, we still there around.
Okay, fellow Sierra Leoneans, when I don't listen to the voice of Nyama Koroma, we don't create so much insults na the social media since he make this comment. Now, I make a challenge now. If anybody can produce any side way during that speech day, Nyama Koroma mentioned the word CLSG. I give that person the 100 million leons instantly. I repeat. If anybody can produce an audio where Nyama Koroma make that night day, in which he mentioned the word CLSG when he address the people the way he line up and they treat them, they talk to them like they munku them, so they don't understand issues. If anybody can produce usai he address people they like they munku, and he used the word CLSG when are the name of the project, when are a sub-component of the West Africa power pool, I go give that person the 100 million leons. So the challenge is out there for una all way they go and course all over the place. If una can produce the audio, Usai Nyama Koroma mention the word CLSG, or Usai mention the word Mano River Union Project, or Usai mention say these are the Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea project, I will give instantly 100 million leons. But I know say my money is safe because I never mentioned CLSG, I never mentioned MRU, I mentioned West Africa Power Pool. And that made the reaction inside the video. And you know, not just the electricity part, they discuss with me APC comrade Ene Rafik Koroma. Actually, the side way even they talk about the census, where they tell people then say the census is legal. And they saying they tell them say the census is legal in incapacity as a former head of state and not in incapacity as chairman and leader of the main opposition party. This now after the main opposition party when they purport say in a chairman and leader, me don't pull a press release and me don't give several audio interviews and produce videos. They claim say the census is illegal, it's unconstitutional. So I was very furious because that night people they sleep in a prison because they believe say the census illegal and then go against the law for challenge the census. So I was not happy with that man in utterance that night. So not just the electricity aspect no more. It is just that waiting leak out that the electricity aspect. But all well and good. That they don't take this electricity, this CLSG project, and try for ridicule the issue when a non-issue. So me say the challenge now. 100 million leons cash for anybody who go show Sia Nyama Koroma mention the word CLSG during that entire speech where they talk to people they like them a munku and net them. You see, waiting I react to now West Africa Power Pool, and I still they continue for Sia Nyama Koroma lie. And he lied deliberately because when you say West Africa Power Pool, you dey make a like na some big thing will cover the entire West Africa. He deliberately not say CLSG, he deliberately not say Mano River Union Project. No. He talked to people that like the Namunku, West Africa Power Pool, now we are the heads of state. Now lie they lie. Simple. Now lie they lie. And that's the issue. The man they lie. When they formed the West Africa Power Pool in 1999, this man not even the APC. But we'll go for Rich Yanda. You know they say again with the Rich Yanda. Now, today I go for address the man and wife. But it will be at the end of this audio. At the address him because Nyama Koroma in voice where it project onto Adebayo, the man we can put out the audio them on his behalf. I go address him because earlier this morning, where I go say almost yesterday morning now, the type of nasty gender-based and sexually explicit insults and abuses where Nyama Koroma in voice was projected on this boy for release into the public against me, it is something where in wife I go for address, but that will be at the end of the audio. Now, in 1974, Shaka Stevens instruct in Development Minister Solomon Pratt for going to Parliament with a document. And this document was called the National Development Plan. So in August 1974, Shaka Stevens sent in Development Minister Pratt for submit to Parliament a 300-page document. And inside this 300-page document, Mr. Stevens, as president, attached a 1-page message. And I will read out a small section of that message there. Shaka sector implementation of the Bumbuna hydroelectric project will mean the beginning of a major effort to reduce our dependence on imported fuels. When completed, the Bumbuna hydroelectric project will take the benefit of electricity to large numbers of people in the provinces. Basically, waiting for Shekim in the Telwinaya is the importance of this dream with them in get, where send me grandpa, for go tell Parliament, say this Bumbuna hydroelectric project, it means to say the amount of money where they spend on fuel for generator them, they can less. And so they can get benefits now for care electricity go to large numbers of people them in the provinces. So this was the message of Shaka Stevens to Parliament in August 1974. And then on page 193, he lists the electricity where the government that 10 day, and the document in front me where they read out from. So on page 193, he lists all the side in a salon where they get electricity. Now listen, if you not get pen and paper, I could probably advise una when I research people them for pause this audio, go get pen and paper and come back for write down some of them things here. He say electricity right now, that time day in August 1974, they supply to the government, they supply electricity to Freetown, to Lunge, to Putloko, to Rukupa, to Cambia, to Makeni, to Magboroka, to Kabala, to Koidu inside Kono, to Kailaun, to Kenema, to Pujeun, to Bo, to Banff, and Moyamba. Solomon Pratt go further for say, apart from the areas there we get the young power stations, the government they operate agency station now the following places in the country: Njala, Jimmy Bagbo, Koyema, and Daru. Then Solomon Pratt go ahead for inform Parliament say, apart from the power station na Lunge in 1974, all the other provincial side they were don't call so, women they enjoy electricity. And you see, I know say a lot of people will be surprised, especially the younger generation, because they don't go na this propaganda say light, electricity, no me ever did not inside and they were call out so. Well, I don't learn today and I don't read from a document where they show now that all the inside and they may get electricity. They were electrified under Shaka Stevens. But unfortunately, Solomon Pratt bring and come to the attention of Parliament say, apart from Lunge Airport, where the sustaining said that they will pay them bills because obviously then flights them in the coming. All the other side and the provinces, they all mean they run under government subsidy. In other words, Shaka Stevens for ensure the light day, he may they subsidize all them provincial side and here so. And on page 198, Solomon Pratt go ahead and he states the subsidy, the losses where their operations and the losses when the government get for come in for subsidize under Shaka Stevens. And I will read out some of the areas them. He said in Kabbalah, the worst side where the APC government get for subsidize, up to 50% of the operational cost na Kabbalah was losses. So the government may they subsidize up to 50% for Kabbalah for get light. Koidu na kono in no mean bad off like a Kabbalah, but they may still get for subsidize at 25%. Kenema, they may get for subsidize at 32%. Bo, they may get for subsidize at 21%. And Pujaon, instead me bad off like a Kabbalah, the people did not get enough money for pay, and there was not enough entities where they able for sustain the electricity. So the APC government of Shaka Stevens began for subsidize 46%. And then after it don't lay all them facts there to Parliament in August 1974, Solomon Pratt get for tell them now say this not sustainable because them machine then na fuel then they use, and then parts then get for the replace. So the best solution for people them na the provinces who for go all out for 2 key hydroelectric project where this week government don't already find funding potential for. And in name the 2 projects them where them don't already find funding proposals for. The one, and they read now from page 194, the one where it say the APC government may don't fund, they don't do feasibility studies, and they don't see the potential for get funding for them. It's saying that the Bumbuna hydroelectric scheme na Tonkolili. He said Dandego produce 46 megawatts. He said then the second one, na a hydroelectric plant for Kenema Bo, where then one place where then they call Dodo, near Panguma in the district of Kenema. He said that Dodo plant there, in ministry they don't look at and they don't find out say, it will produce a capacity of 3.5 megawatt. It go further for say, the Chinese government, because that's in the China, they may like me grandpa and they may like Shaka Stevens. Because me grandpa and me don't make sure say, China able for go na the United Nations. Standing a long story. But at the end, anything where APC say they want, they may so like me grandpa, they may so like Shaka Stevens for waiting Sierra Leone may do for China. So the Chinese then say, then they take over the Dodo project. And at the time, in August 1974, when the APC take this document go to Parliament, the Chinese, according to me grandpa in page 196 of this document where it's in a Parliament, he said this is presently under investigation and study by a team of Chinese technicians. He said the total cost could be 3.4 million leones. Imagine, 1974, the kind of weight Salomon name get for do that kind of massive project there was 3.4 million leones. He said, and the People's Republic of China then already for finance up to 70% of them and possibly more. So this was in 1974. And indeed, I get front me again a document by the European Union. Then get a department at the European Union where they call CABRI, where for Africa Development Project them. And these documents, they give the entire history of Bumbuna hydroelectric. And they can't give now all the dates from this document from the European Union. It confirms, say yes, just like what my grandpa them say, 1972 feasibility study starts, 1973 feasibility study end, 1974, it said then review and then look at 4 areas where na the possible area we say for put the hydroelectric plant. It's in 1975. It's a then do what they call hydrology studies. And our Italian farm, now I mean do this hydrology. Now what's in a hydrology? Hydrology basically now for look the river, that Bumbuna area there, and look how it flow and decide how you get for build the dam. Then if you go now to me grandpa in presentation at Parliament, it talk about the importance for resettle the people them will go be affected, and he also talk about the potential for make urbanization happen around that part there of Tonkolili. That is for commercialize the area, upgrade the area, so that when the electricity will be turned on, the people them along that entire river axis the place will become commercialized. Then go get a proper road now where go they lead from Magbuka for go take inside to Bumbuna. So we mean they inside the 1974 document. So in 1975, the Italian then can do this study for decide whose parts pan the area, pan the water they move. When they submit this report and they review them, the government of Sheikh Stevens say, in collaboration with the World Bank, then say them for fine-tune this thing a second time, for pinpoint exactly inside this Bumbuna for them. So 1978, then do terms of reference again. This time, Italy, then do these terms of reference in collaboration with the World Bank. So 1980, then complete these terms of reference, and the World Bank endorse them. Say make them start preparation for tender. That is, for make them write the technical details now for tender the project, so that they can start for build the Bumbuna hydroelectric project. Now when I see the amount of years that we don't pass, study upon study, review, study, come back, you check, do hydrology, we don't reach now 1980. Now inside 1980 now, when the World Bank say made them prepare this technical documentation, something very unique happened. And my grandpa, when me and him talk, he may give me your viewpoints about what happened. Where I'm not going to mention that this audio, but sometime in the future I will tell you now what my grandpa may believe say happen. But something happened where all of a sudden, boom, Italian government just come and tell the government of Sheikh Stevens, say, will they provide $20 million to Sierra Leone? But on one condition. Then say, when they start this work, the dirty when they pull, they want for carry and go Italy. So fine, it's not dirty, it's not black dirty, according to them. So then they provide $20 million on condition that then they carry this black dirty go to Italy. So the company, the Salini company, he signed the first contract with Sheikh Stevens with this money where Italy give we free. So then they loan with the money, we go pay where we're ready, then go loan this $20 million. Well, not free, but loan. So then sign the first contract, say, then for begin dig, for build, waiting and call engineers camp, and for create a road from Magboroka for go right inside to the engineers camp. And secondly, then sign a contract back, say then for start preliminary works for begin clear this dirty. So in 1981, before World Bank, they say for put this thing on tender, Italian government don't carry with massive money, say $20 million. So World Bank then say, who's kind of thing this? But the Italian government, they not look World Bank. Then just say, in fact, Salini Construction, they not even wait for the money for reach, then begin dig for build this thing and pull this dirty. So 1981, 1982, then they dig and they pull this dirty. And Italy insists that the Italian company Salini Construction, now then for do this thing, for do this preliminary works, na Bumbuna. So during this period, 1983, now World Bank say, how then they see the economy in the country, even though Italy ready for continue these works, for they pull this dirty and they build this, pull all this dirty from this river area and build this preliminary works. World Bank say the way the economy they, Salon people are not going to afford for pay off the Bumbuna. So then say, then for reduce the project in size. So then reduce the project in size in 1984. This still na Shaka Stevens, president. From 100 megawatts, when I made the original thing where the Italian government may don't say, they reduce it now to 50 megawatts. 1985, even after they don't reduce them, World Bank still grab and say they for abandon this project completely. But Italy say, no way, we not abandon this project. We they continue for pull this dirty care and go Italy, and we they continue for build this preliminary works around the Bumbuna project. This continue, President Momo, Joseph Saidu Momo, take over from Shaka Stevens. And in 1988, under President Momo, this is not the European Union document that they read from, so now, the Italian government then signed the contract now, say for do the actual civil works and the hydraulic steel structures that are the iron and the steel when them for hold the water in place, for dam the water. So 1988, the same Italian government then came out with $112 million. Then say this money now for the project for continue, but on condition Salon government for go fence side, we forget money for do the electricals. So President Momo signed the contract, and President Momo now go begin look for who side for get money for build the electricity side and the transmission power lines. And in 1991, President Momo indeed able convince Africa Development Bank for pour in millions of dollars for ensure say the main power station, the electromagnetic equipment, the electromechanical equipment, and most importantly the transmission lines from Bumbuna down to Freetown substation, Africa Development Bank go fund them. This is President Joseph Saidu Momo na do this. This was in 1991. And indeed Africa Development Bank in principle, and then signed the contract with President Momo. Unfortunately in 1992, there was a military coup. And they overthrew Momo and the APC government. A regime came with and called MPRC. And now that regime they operate was, they may get two sectors. You may get the head of state, when Valentine Strasser was a captain Valentine Strasser. Then you may get the head of government, when the chief secretary of state. And swiftly then change chief secretary of state 3 times. Then start off first with John Benjamin as Secretary of State, then change and then put Saj Musa as Chief Secretary of State. Chief Secretary of State, I am the head of the government. Now in the chair the cabinet. Now in the take decisions, now the chairman of the cabinet, where they take decisions on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone. So waiting Valentine Strasser in the chair, now waiting them in called the Supreme Council of State. So the chairman and head of the government, from John Benjamin to Saj Musa, and finally to one of the officers they were then called Julius Madabio. So in 1993, Julius Maada Bio became the head of government as the chairman of the cabinet. And under Julius Maada Bio as head of government and chairman of cabinet, may people don't listen now. In 1993, they signed a contract with the Africa Development Bank and Salini Construction, the Italians, for build the main power station finally, and the electromagnetic equipment. And they also signed a contract for transmit the power, build the big pylon, what we call pylons. And I see them big, long, metallic thing away, if you got triangle, the bottom big, then as they go up soon, I show you the small. Then I right up there, I can pass the heavy electricity current cable from Bumbuna all the way to Freetown. Julius Maada Bio, I'm the head of government, we signed that contract today. And I'm the head of the cabinet, we approved that contract day. Then the head of state, I'm in Valentine Strasser, we endorsed that contract day. So 1993, Julius Maada Bio as the head of the cabinet and head of the government, then signed this contract for Bumbuna for proceed. Now, the people them, 1995, something happened. I don't know what happened, and I don't try to do some research, but these are just a short summary I degree for Sierra Leoneans them. But 1995, something happened where I feel to say Julius Maada Bio go able to tell we, or Dr. Samura Kamara, who was then the financial secretary for the MPRC, go able to tell we. I don't know what happened, but something happened. And there was a massive fallout between the MPRC and the Italian government. Big wahala. I don't know what happened between them. But the Italian government now be, and the Italian contractors, Salini, they get a big fallout between them and the MPRC. And it may lead to a situation now where the Italian government, very interestingly, take a decision. Say that first $20 million where they mean bring come under Shaka Stevens. When nobody know me ask them, then carry the money. They say, oh, they can't give you this money as a loan, we go pay one already. And the black dot no more, we go just go from Sierra Leone to Italy. So something happened on the MPRC. I don't know what happened. So now, it go fine for them one day when I'm in the actors, then that 10 day, Dr. Samura Kamara, Julius Maada Bio, for make them come forward because they are still political actors and tell we what really may happen, because the MPRC may able to do something where it appear to be very good. They're able to get the Italian government for tell the government of Sierra Leone that $20 million loan where they may give to Shaka Stevens or they may give to Sierra Leone under President Shaka Stevens, you know that money what I'm telling you say, then the Italian government just cow it no more, then say, oh Lord, just get the black dot go no more. This $20 million alone. Now, Julius Maada Bio and Samura Kamara they may able to forget the Italian government for wipe off that 20 million day. Imagine, the military government able to get the Italian government say, this $20 million, when I not get for pay again. The people of Sierra Leone, we don't need for pay again. Italy no wants the money again from una. Imagine, And then, the second money, the second $112 million loan agreement, where they may now sign with President Momo for Bumbuna. Under this MPRC in 1995, the Italian government suddenly say, this money safe back, this $112 million, $80 million of them, We no want her again. We not pay we again. So I get my own belief about what happened in 1995. We make the Italian government decide, say, this money, Salon government owe them all. But they don't want the money again. They say, "Oh, take them." And I feel to say Julius Madabio and Samora Kamara, then go able to tell we what really happened. We make them able to successfully pull that burden day from we aid. Because this now $100 million. Now in the MPRC, under Madabio and Samora Kamara, able forget the Italian government for wipe off. Not a small money, $100 million. The Italian government say, will they wipe them off? But there was some problem we make the Italian government say they know they continue for fund the project with any more money. These are issues around the Bumbuna project where I feel to say Samora Kamara, Julius Madabio, therefore clarify, help us understand. Because they do very well as far as me concerned. For able to wipe off $100 million. It's very, very good. And I quote here from a European Union document. So, interestingly, in 1995, the same MPRC, again with the same Samora Kamara as financial secretary, they be able to approach Africa Development Bank and they're able to secure $23.5 million for allow the work for continuing at Bumbuna. So the work in 1996, still under MPRC, the construction work continue fine. And that same 1996 day now, the military, Israeli says, we don't tell to now go. And they elect a brand new president, when the late President Ahmad Tijan Kaba. Now, President Kaba inherits now this project. We don't start from Shaka Stevens to President Momo to Valentine Strasser, Julius Madabio, and of course Samora Kamara was the financial secretary. And he makes everything smooth now. And the Bumbuna project was on target to be commissioned in 1998. The MPRC may don't do everything for make sure say then commission the Bumbuna project in 1998. And President Kaba continued smoothly until May 1997 when the AFRC coup happened. Now, obviously when the AFRC coup happened, from that May 1997, from that May 1997 day, country just confusion because of bad advice we Tijan Kaba may receive about how to manage the soldiers. They make the war turn to different dimension, and for a period of 6 years, the Bumbuna hydroelectric project was stalled because now so warm in the salon. So for 6 years, from 1997, the war affected the Bumbuna project. Nothing no happened. But when the war ended in 2002, to the credit of the late former President Ahmad Tijan Kaba, he immediately made Bumbuna a priority because just like Shaka Stevens, we originally start the Bumbuna hydroelectric project, President Kaba see the importance for this project for continue. So in the year 2003, President Kaba, using his international clout, because he may get a lot of international clout, he called a donor meeting for the Bumbuna project to be refinanced. And fortunately, President Kaba was able to get donors then for come back on board. And a lot of donors them pledged their support for restart the Bumbuna hydroelectric project. So, the first thing we then do now a technical assessment, and then find out, say, this technical assessment and do it in 2004. And then find out, say, surprisingly, with all the war, the pylons, then high metal thing the way that they can pass the cable. And the cable them, where them in on the plant under MPRC time, till leading to Tijang Kabah's own time before the 1997 coup happened. They find out, say, surprisingly, none of them in damage. It was still intact after 6 years of war. So, Tijang Kabah now said, this is very, very good. Surprisingly, everything they intact. So, Tijang Kabah remobilized the Italian construction company, Salini. And in July 2005, Tijang Kabah signed a brand new contract with Salini Construction. For one, that project first way Sheikha Stevens been signed, Tijang Kabah can now do an addendum for freshen them up, for meet up the new conditions then where the country mean they under. And two, that other project where President Momo himself may sign for the same Bumbuna, because the one way Sheikha Stevens him sign, now the one way now for clear the road, clear the black dirty, build the engineered site, make a brand new road where they come up from Magburuka for go inside Bumbuna, all this na Sheikha Stevens been sign them. Then the one way President Momo him sign, now the one now for the electricity of INSESF and the transmission lines. So President Kabah now come and INSEF sign, say, okay, the work done, so they do what we call now an addendum. And in that same 2005 day, if you remember earlier, I tell you about where Solomon Pratt carried that 1974 document to Parliament. And he tell Parliament, say, we go get for resettle the people them, and we will get for use the opportunity for urbanize and increase social life along the axis then day. So in 2005, President Kabah, and this is important, my people, in 2005, President Kabah single-handedly bring in a new component into the Bumbuna hydroelectric project. Based on this thing where Solomon Pratt may don't see, say they will get for do. President Kabah Brand can now a brand new component where it gets the World Bank for fund them, then call them resettlement action plan. And that plan therefore bring compensation to all the people them along that river there, where then they can convert to an hydroelectric axis for 7 meters on each side of the pylons. And then for resettle all the one that where the water where then they can dam go affect then crops and then agricultural things then. So President Kabah may able for go fend over $12 million with a capacity of up to $20 million from World Bank for can give for resettlement activity. That now for build brand new house for them people they are, resettle them now then side and make sure say then areas them go get commercial activities, go get school, go get a brand new entity. Now, this was now in 2005. After they don't sign this contract, where President Kabah don't sign this contract, when the people they for can work now, when I imagine 2004, when they do the technical assessment, they find out say the pylons then they intact, the copper cables they all they intact. Inside 1 year, by 2005, when they for ready now for work, waiting they can find out. Mortal man in this country, them don't can thief the Bumbuna cable, and up to 100 of them pylons them, then long metal structure, then when a day then can pass the cable right at the top from Bumbuna for car all the way to Freetown. Then don't cut 100 of the pylons, 100, for go sell them as aluminium scrap metals. And then don't cut the copper cable for go sell them as copper. And one prominent person in there, where in brother I mean a famous person in the country, then catch him live and then charge himself to court. So this sets the Bumbuna project backwards. Serious one. Because this project needs the pylon so that when they build the dam and they begin generate electricity, it will send the electricity kind of Freetown. So poor President Kaba don't get wahala now. Just like Shaka Stevens, just like President Momo, just like the MPRC regime, he knows the importance of the Bumbuna hydroelectric project. But wicked mortal man then don't come and then don't can thief the copper and then don't can thief the aluminium. So Tijan Kaba Minge for go out again for funding for can build brand new 100 pylons again and forget money for pass fresh copper cables again. May his soul rest in peace. Tijan Kaba Minge for go out, and fortunately on June 13, 2006, Tijan Kaba me able for convince OPEC na Vienna, OPEC International Fund for Development, OPEC Fund for International Development. They mean based na Vienna na Europe. And Tijan Kaba me able for convince OPEC for loan Salon government $10 million for build them pylons, then they back again, and for pass them copper cables, then they back again. So this is how they may able for restart that project day after the war. By May 2007, the Bumbuna project was 95% complete. Even the pylons, the cable, where that famous man in border, they may catch up and thief and destroy this country. Millions of dollars of destruction. They thief them to export them out. Tijan Kaba may don't able to find money, and they may don't begin build all the transmission lines were all completed for replace the one with that big man in border mean thief. So 95% completion. Elections here. Massive campaigning. Elections here, and we can see next year where the elections they come approach. And there was this massive campaigning, corruption, the SLPP, people they're not tired, they want them to go. So in 2007, there was a stall. The donor agency them. All man just all their money because they know why they use their money for campaign by elections. We all know regime change. And the new president now will win the elections that 2007 day. We meet the Bumbuna hydroelectric project 95% completed. It came with a lot of goodwill, and it's by Koroma. And that goodwill they will come with, it can meet up back, fortunately. Tijan Kaba and informer finance minister John Opunjo Benjamin, then we don't get what they call debt relief. So that debt relief, they now give a lot of space to government of Sierra Leone for operate. So government of Sierra Leone now, because of that goodwill, and the new president will come. Oh, President Anesbai Koroma, he come with this strength for fight corruption. It come for clean up the mess. Then people then will thief the copper wires. You know, we get this big man when brother thief copper wires. A big man when brother mean thief copper wires and aluminium pylons. We're gonna stop all this corruption. And he able forget in early 2008, within few months, the debt relief space make the government of Sierra Leone able to raise $6.5 million. And the Africa Development come back on board. The British government come on board. The Italian government come on board. And there was a lot of goodwill. So with high speed now, then just take over from the 95% point. And in early 2008, Ernest by Koroma, that project with Tijan Kaba Mengo Fen between $12 to $20 million for the resettlement. Ernest by Koroma now can implement that project there. And I mean, don't tell one another audio say I was present because now in the Ernest by Koroma me invite me for good as an for cover the project. So I mean present where you do the launching then resettle the people them. But now here my people is something interesting. Throughout in speech in 2008, not once did Ernest by Koroma mention the role of the former president Tijan Kaba for secure that money there for the resettlement. Not once. It was all about him. That him don't do him, in government don't get, World Bank they can't do him. It was just him. At that time, of course, Tijan Kaba was still active. I mean, they do the same way Ernest by Koroma they do now. I mean, they travel around the world, they go do elections, observation meetings, they attend peace conferences. So he was still active, and for that one, the way they talk about giving credit to previous government, I feel to say, then self go agree with me, say, if that theory didn't follow, then that 2008, where Ernest by Koroma not do nothing he not do for that resettlement, then Tijan Kaba do everything, I spend all the money. And I go agree with me, say, sometimes me for call Tijan Kaba himself for Dede, when then they resettle the people, then go na Kalasongia, up by Konadugu from Bumbuna. But in Odwam, all right, nobody no vex. He's the president. This was 2008. Project not in project to Apakaba in project. Apakaba go find the money in the World Bank. Apakaba come up with the thing in 2005. So for compensate people them, what they can't do, what they do now this Bumbuna hydroelectric project. Okay. Funding day now. 2008, after the resettlement, where they not mention Tijan Kaba in name at all. They decided and they full up the water reservoir. April 2009, then pull the water, then test, and find out everything. So, then full up the water again, July 2009. Now, OPEC, that money with Tijan Kaba Mengo Fen, that $10 million with Tijan Kaba Mengo Fen, for replace the transmission lines from Bumbuna down to Freetown. That OPEC money, they continue throughout 2008. This is not Tijan Kaba money we may go find. After that big mine brother, me don't thief the pylons and the copper cables. So that OPEC funding day of Tijan Kaba in money we may go find at Vienna. It continue. And by 2009, now finally, in September 2009, we then don't pass all the fresh cables then done with Tijan Kaba and money we may go find. And when they don't rebuild everything back to perfect fitting, again, it's under a contract when Tijan Kaba signed, as an addendum to a contract when President Joseph Saidu Momo signed, as an addendum to a contract when Shaka Stevens been signed, and for a document we first go to Parliament under Solomon Pratt as the then Minister of Development. In 2009, and of course the MPRC time again, Julius Mada Bion Sefion role where he play with Valentine Strasser, then Sefion role where they play at the Bumbuna project, where I don't highlight. In 2009, September, then test this project where Ernest by Koroma inherit at 95% completion, and it worked. The electricity came, and it worked perfectly. It sent current. So in November 2009, a grand commissioning of the Bumbuna hydroelectric project was done. Massive! And the great Ernest Bai Koroma went to Bumbuna to commission the Bumbuna hydroelectric project. Tijan Kaba was around. He was still active, was still doing his duties as a Commonwealth elections observer. They travel around the world. But nobody no call and go there. Nobody no acknowledge him. But the man no vex. He no say nothing. He's a retired statesman. It's dumb. It would have been nice for Ernest Bai Koroma for invite the former president Tijan Kaba. Say pa, where this warrior mean done. If not to me, you 2003 mobilize. If not to be you 2005, you get OPEC. We know the deals out there, so come join me. This project I meet at 95% completed. Yousef, according to records, Yousef taken over from the MPRC Julius Maada Bio. You taken from 80-something% completed. It would have been nice because Julius Maada Bio self been there around for former President Koroma, for invite President Kaba. It would have been nice for invite Julius Maada Bio and give himself credit because himself, imagine that Maada Bio then government make the Italian then waive off $100 million what we owe Italy for Bumbuna hydroelectric project. They waive off. And I think say Samora Kamara and Maada Bio therefore can't tell with this magic way them play because it's a great success story of the MPRC. But Ernest Bai Koroma decide not to acknowledge all the success story. I no acknowledge Kaba, I no acknowledge Maada Bio, I no acknowledge Shaka Stevens, I no acknowledge. Now he want to take all the glory for a project where he meet at 95% completion. And Ernest Bai Koroma made it. Bumbuna project was an Ernest Bai Koroma project. Nobody no say anything. He was the head of state, the fountain of honor, from where honor flows. And he took the credit for himself. He not ever tell people them. Say he meets Bumbuna hydroelectric project at 95% from Tijan Kaba. Not tell people then that. And not tell people then say MPRC Julius Maada Bio them me able for waive off $100 million for make the project for this Bumbuna project from the Italian government. And not tell people then that. He took the credit for himself. Now, I don't take me time today, it's a very long audio, for lecture about the history of Bumbuna. Now, I want to ask Kuna where they go and make all this noise on social media. If we not get conscience, if we not get a heart of conscience, when I really feel sit down on noise the one they make about this project, na Bo and Kenema, na noise we worth it? No. And once again, I dey repeat them. Say, I get 100 million leons for anybody who go show me an audio that day where Ernest Bai Koroma referred to CLSG. He never did. He selfishly tried to take the credit for the West Africa power pool. When a project of Tijan Kaba and his colleague heads of state in 1999. And the CLSG, not just a small subcomponent of the West Africa power pool. So I was not wrong for say the man lie where he take credit for West Africa power pool. We not deserve him. And I find them ironical that a man will take Bumbuna at 95% and he go launch Bumbuna, he not get the courtesy for invite Tijan Kaba for team up with him. He not get the courtesy for invite Julius Mother Bio or Valentine Strasser for Timaputam. But today, this man they try for tell we say them for call and go pan project where then definitely not inherit at 95% complete. When I see the irony, when I see the hypocrisy, and then you have people out there where they don't want this man for be criticized when he do some of them things there, which is blatantly not statesman-like. When you're not able to give credit to your predecessors, you not get the limania for able to acknowledge, say not to you do them things there, yeah. You come, you meet them at 95%. But you they go posture out there that other people them forgive you credit. It is unfair. Now, before I end this project, I get a message for Sia Nyama Koroma. Sia Koroma, your husband get this invoice where they put out through Adebayo for dirty the society. And this latest one where he do so January 8, 2022, your husband invoice don't come out and project to the world a message. And today, Sia Nyama Koroma, I want to tell you, say, in reaction to that message, I want to send a strong warning to you. Sia Nyama Koroma, I sure say you listen to your husband in voice where he projects through in ventriloquist Poppy Adebayo. What you make us sure now because I know say you and your man all day on a day for listening to Adebayo. I know this for a fact. So I know say you listen to them. And you listen to all what Adebayo talk about me. So today I want to warn you, and these are the last warning I send to you before I go into the next gear. I warn you, Sia Nyama Koroma, if you, where you mean they go school, you mean they urinate by yourself in a school, in other words, as we can say in a career, you mean they piss by yourself till you reach Form 4, me not mean they do that. You, Sia Nyama Koroma, if you man where you and him supposedly married, if it allow you for make small bobo then they follow you as a woman, me not they do that. Sia Nyama Koroma, if you man say you must the so smell that every 2 hours you for charm chewing gum, me or must not the smell. If you not get your man for stop, this country will entertain them, Sia Nyama Koroma. We go entertain them all, believe you me. So after I don't give you that warning there, I go end this broadcast for now, as I can always do, with the national anthem. And I play the national anthem for people then for listen to the tune and reflect their minds on what we can sing when we sing the national anthem for the land that we love, our Sierra Leone. Let God bless we all, and I thank you for listening.